Say happy midweek. We're live on Instagram. Welcome, tribe. And here on Facebook, my personal page, our company page, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I am so happy that we're connecting midweek. And I'm curious, how's this week going for you? Today, we're diving in on mindset. It's something that I have been studying and recalibrating over the last couple of weeks, really. And everything I teach is also what's going on in my life, the tools that I use, and also in our community. And you know the drill, I hope by now. If this is the first time, jump in whatever platform you are watching this live, say hi, and I'm so curious to hear your takeaways and what's showing up as I share the tools that I use right now, and tools that will help you attract more success, and really help you upgrade your life. And why mindset? There's so much I could unpack on mindset, but I've chosen to focus just on a few tools because those tools that I share has pivoted how I do life. And let me share the backstory on why mindset. There's two types of coaching for performance and coaching for personal development. Most of my career, I've been used and I've received coaching for performance, where we focus on the project. And I got to a point in my life where that coaching for project or for performance just didn't resonate with me, because there was something people didn't see that I could feel was so off. And that was how I was feeling, the thoughts I was thinking, and the scarcity thoughts, the imposter thoughts. So I reached out and I started with coaching for personal development. But I am, and I think the reason why you're here, you are a student of life. You're a lifelong student. And so for sure am I. And those tools I was trained in and I got to play with 5-7 years ago, I still connect with, because you will never be finished peeling the layer of who you really are. That's why I'm so such a advocate and passionate about talking about who you are at the core, being authentic you. Because for sure, if you know, it's so difficult to be just who you are, right? Because what will my neighbor say? What will my best girlfriend say? What will my boss say? When I'm truly authentic and dare to stay in that zone and speak power to truth without judging, because then we're not us, right? At the core, we come from love. And that's also tapped into mindset. So recently, I was so connecting with the thoughts that I think, the paradigm. And that's, if you follow Bob Proctor, he would call it the paradigm: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And if you, like me, are curious about neuroscience, you would also know about Dr. Joe Dispenza, that we think between 60,000, 70,000 thoughts a day. And only 5% of those thoughts that we think are conscious thoughts. That's why, just one of my clients know that I love drawing at the same time as I talk. That's why we cannot, we can, but it's a choice, that if you think between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day, well, don't tell me that you are so conscious, right? All your waking hours. Most people are sleepwalking through the day. And I'm curious about how can I learn my clients to be even more conscious aware of how we do life, because otherwise it's your body controlling you, it's your subconscious feelings controlling you, it's your patterns controlling you, and I'm done with that. So that got me to really reflect as we have some downtime here in the month of July, where it's summer camps and family time. But my mind is still working, and I say to my clients, well, even though you're on holiday, your mind is still on working, right? So it's all about that, understanding our mind. And so I got to this. This was a pivot moment where I really connected with my thoughts, and that is a top leader mindset. It's about cultivating the thoughts that set you up for success. But you can only cultivate thoughts that set you up for success if you're truly curious about the thoughts that you think already, right? So you would know about Proctor's paradigm shift, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, and so also your decisions. You probably know this by now, right? So I started connecting with my thoughts. I got so curious. Why do I get triggered? Why do I think the thoughts that I think? Because I am not there yet where I am completely conscious aware of what I do every single moment of my waking hours. I got really deep. I got really curious about this. And it got me to pause in my tracks and to think, why do I think those thoughts? And there was something about money mindset. There was something about, why don't I follow what I have been taught or taught and told, advised, right? Because I seek other people's advice, what I should do. I don't seek opinions, because that is your opinion about what I should do. No, I seek people who are playing a bigger game than me and who have more free time and create more impact in this world, because that's what I am up to. And that's what my clients are up to. We are up to solving big problems in this world, whatever that problem is for you. So I was reaching out to some of my mentors and I was reading books. For example, if you know this book, Trust Your Vibes, it's a book I recommend to my community, because a thought leads to a feeling and leads to an action, and feeling is vibration. So I got so into this and started to follow Gary DeVee, Gary V. It's not Gina DeVee, but Gary V, right? Because mindset is everything and it's so underrated. But I'm glad you are here, and probably you also read books where you can actually grow your mind or mindset and your behaviors. So I really dived into my thinking process, or my thinking and my subconscious thoughts. And I have to tell you, this is so vulnerable. In my self-discovery, my body's responding now. I went back 30 years to understand why now was this one thing that I wasn't following through, why I wasn't following through on some of the advice I was given. 30 years, guys, that is a long time. So I sat there and I vividly recall there was a moment where in my life when I was in that time boyfriend and I had to give up my car in order for us to buy the house. If you're in my circle, you know how important freedom is. And when I was asked or said, well, you have a choice, we can move or we can't move. But if we move and we split, you have to sell your car. And I didn't want to give up my freedom. And that realization, that freedom is so an important value for me. It's also in my upcoming book, because it's about knowing your values, right? And the mindset got me to do something else. And I carried that frustration, I carried that sadness so long. But now I got curious about my thought process and my paradigm. And so I was thinking, okay, if that is a thought that I was thinking, then it gives me a feeling that I don't enjoy. And it also gives me an inaction, the cost of inaction, right? So I was then up for recalibrating my thoughts. I was up for recalibrating my paradigm. And it got me to really be more curious about the thoughts that I think. And that's about being on your mind, being on your thoughts, and what top level leaders do and the mindset. They grow the mindset, they grow their behaviors, the patterns, the habits each and every day. And I want to share this with you because in my community, we are very vulnerable and we work with our thoughts. And people are stuck in their thoughts. They're stuck in their limiting beliefs. They're stuck in thoughts that don't serve them and don't help them attract more success. So if you can recognize this and you can resonate with this, then it's about cultivating your mindset, cultivating your paradigm, shifting your paradigm so that you think thoughts that set you up for success and help you attract success. You don't create your success, you attract success. So if you want more success, what thoughts do you need to shift? It may sound so simple. And some people say, I think positive thoughts each and every day. But I'm going to challenge you, because what are you missing out on? Or what are you ignoring to be aware of when you now know that you think between 60,000, 70,000 thoughts a day, right? It's something that's so deep, but when you start to work on yourself, it shifts everything. It's also something that's really vulnerable. So I want to share this with you about the top leader mindset and be curious about the thoughts that you think. And I got some questions. I asked for some questions about the mindset. Oh, no, so that was an incoming call on Instagram mobile. Okay, I got some questions on mindset. Here's the first question. It's something I hear oftentimes. It's really difficult to stay positive when my boss is negative or when I'm in a meeting and the environment is really toxic. I get it. And I can relate to that. And many of my clients can relate to that. But here's about mindset. It's about not judging what is going on, but really seeing the situation for what it is. And when we talk about mindset and when we talk about feelings, then it's about understanding that any thought is a vibration. When you think something, that's a vibration. It gives you a vibration. You send out vibration in the universe or to the universe. So when people are toxic, look at them as beautiful souls, but they struggle. I truly believe that everyone are beautiful souls, but they wear masks. They are even fear of losing out, fear of not being perfect. I serve so many amazing people who are used to be perfect. Perfectionism is a devil's advocate. We don't know, is that a devil's advocate? But it's absolutely steals your energy. And it's not something you should strive for, to be perfect. You should strive to be imperfect. But I've been in those environments where everything has to be perfect. But we are human beings. And when you dare to just be you and not be perfect, then you connect with people. And when you connect with people and not being perfect, but be imperfect, then people want to follow you. And then going back to energy, because that was That was a question. How do we stay positive when we're in an environment or a meeting where people are really toxic? Like, so that is energy. That is just lower level of energy. Look at that person who is like that beautiful soul behind the mask, but that person is being challenged right here, right now, and you don't want to absorb that person's energy. But boy, it took me years to understand that. So stay positive and just acknowledge the situation, but never absorb the other person's energy, even though they may want to push that energy to you. We have to do this, or it's your mistake. What? Okay, but tell me what to do differently. How can I do it differently? But people who vibrate on a lower level of energy will never have people who follow them, right? And you want to be one of those people who create followers. So it's about also understanding who do you really consider as role models. And in this preparation, I realized that some of the people that I considered role model during my career is not always a role model when it comes to mindset and energy. So just stay out of that energy, because that's also a top level mindset. Stay out of that energy and recognize that people are frustrated. Another question from Marie is, I get very dissatisfied with myself when I fail and what to do. That's a really good question. I can relate. And I for sure think that some of my clients can relate to that, or in my community, our community, because it's not only my community. So here's what is truly interesting when you ask what to do differently is enjoy the process, and you probably have too high a bar for yourself. And now it's no life coaching and you're not here. And I don't know you. So what I can relate to is some of the amazing clients, clients and leaders who booked discovery calls is that, but I have a very high bar for myself, but it's time, or could it be that now it's time for you to recalibrate that bar? It got you to where you are, but being dissatisfied with yourself is not the smartest way to enjoy life. Maybe it's time. Here's what I would do. I would really be curious about what thoughts are you telling yourself, and why is it that you're so dissatisfied? Why is that you don't love yourself? And what if you start loving yourself even more? What if you started enjoying the process even more? What if you started enjoying the results that you created? And here, for sure, it takes time. It takes time and requires you to slow down and enjoying what you create. I had a conversation a 4 weeks ago where we talked about this. And because this person was going from A to B, was so a high performer and so professional in her mindset, she forgot all the amazing minor wins that she and her team had been creating. So it's not about being dissatisfied, it's really about slowing down. And that's what I would do. Anyway, question from an anonymous being asked is, it's hard to stay positive all day. How do you do it? That's a really amazing question. I'm a lifelong student, and I sometimes I sometimes allow myself to be triggered. How I stay positive is that I wake up in the morning and I set intention for the day, and I really cultivate and allowing myself to spend time with my thoughts. So whenever I feel that something is not, so whenever I feel that something is disturbing me, because that's a feeling, and that's when you're feeling an emotion, when something is triggering you, that feeling becomes an emotion. So when I can feel that sensation in my body, as Deepak Chopra would say, that sensation, I'm so curious about what is that sensation about. And then I pause. I simply pause. And here's one of my mentors learned. Whenever something is heavy, drop it. And yes, drop it. It does take time for you to really drop that task, especially if you're in a corporate and you just have to deliver. But I tell you, if you push through, you will not get the results that you desire. So whenever something is challenging you and you cannot stay positive, drop it. Could be in a meeting and say, right now and own what's going on inside you, right? Or within you. Own it. You can never blame anyone else why you're being triggered, because you're allowed to be triggered. So that's why the coaching for personal development comes in. Whoever you want to work with, but it's actually investing in yourself so that you don't get down those rabbit holes that really gets you upset, overwhelmed, frustrated, maybe at the edge of burnout. It's not worth it, is it? So beyond your thoughts, again, the paradigm shift I introduced in the beginning. And the last question I got is, there's a lot of annoying people in my company. How can I keep the right mindset? Oh, I can relate to that. I have been working in environments that have been so toxic, and it's so easy to get swarmed into that mindset, pity backing or pity partying, and joining the camp that it's their fault. They are so stupid, or he's so annoying, and when he comes in, he's so aggressive, da 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 da. But it doesn't help you, and it doesn't serve you. So now it's just time. First off, if this is an environment that doesn't serve you, why are you there? I'm really curious about that. Also, again, look at these beautiful souls, and from a 10x and top leader mindset, see the person for who he or she is. What could challenge that person right here, right now? Right? And that's energy. When you talk about toxicity, that's energy. They vibrate on a lower level of energy. Remember the pyramid or the paradigm, right? It's their reality. Your personality is your personal reality. And they have their personal personality and that personal reality. And it's summed up by your patterns, your thought patterns, your belief systems, your values, who you see the most, and also your subconscious, your non-negotiables. But maybe you are violating that, or you are tolerating your non-negotiables to be overridden, right, or sacrificed. So see that person for or those annoying people as who they really are. If you are the card holder, I'll be curious about coaching the person and say, what is really going on? Look at the person. Person has a challenge. I've been there, actually wrote an article. My very first article is that nobody asked me, how are you doing? Nobody asked me, and I was serving HR department. Nobody asked me how I was doing. So look at the person. Then ask, what is going on? What's on your mind? Be curious about the person behind the mask. If you want to learn more, join my free webinar that is coming up next week. We are honing in on more of these tools that has the potential to not only help you attract more success, but also up-level your life. For me, this was really powerful, because when I teach and share, I also reflect, and I learn at the same time. And these are some of the tools that I really use right now. Is about staying on my thoughts and being curious about what thoughts that I think, because it does take some time to connect with your thoughts. But if I can do it, you can as well. It's easier than you think. Some people say, oh, it's really hard. Shift your mind, right? Shift your perspective. No, but it's vulnerable. Yes, it is. But if I can do it, you can too. And you will experience multiple breakthroughs and aha moments that why and why do I actually think what I think? So I want to close this live stream. Thanks for the opportunity. Remember to join our free training if this speaks to you. We see each other again Monday next week. Bye for now.